And he is starting at guard. It is Oldham against West. The tap controlled by the Bulls, and our NBA season for 1985 is underway. Sidney Green from Nevada, Las Vegas on the point. Jordan will take the first shot. It won't fall. Rebound, Woolridge. He's hit from behind by West.
Mark West called for the first foul of the ball game. The extra hit on the iron enabled Woolridge to get the rebound because the Cavs had good position as you watch it again, but Phil Hubbard was caught out of sync with his jump, and when Woolridge went back up for the shot, Mark West got him across the arm.
Woolridge opens the NBA season with the first point of the night. Notre Dame graduate. And it's 2-0. Chicago breaks on top. First time the Cavs have touched the ball officially in 1985. Bagley into the front court against Macy. Macy, a pretty good defender, maybe a step slow compared to Bagley. Knocked away Macy, good defense. Hinson takes it right down the lane. Tough shot off the glass, and they call the offensive foul on Hinson. Says it will not count.
Excuse me, Jim said that Roy led with the elbow as he went that way. No team foul.
Macy quickly into the front court outside. Sidney Green. And the Bulls are out of the blocks quickly.
Green is a guy who they are counting on for big things this year. You have to wonder how he's going to play because he has been terribly inconsistent thus far, the young man out of Nevada, Las Vegas.
And he was not impressive in his rookie season. Hubbard to Bagley, swing it to Free in the corner. And that's how you get on the board.
World B had a good preseason, came to camp in great shape. He's ready to build upon the Cavs' success late last season.
Macy with perimeter passing to Woolridge, who can't handle the ball outside. Jordan baseline, good defense that time by Free, but the double pump allows Jordan to knock it in.
Playing the basic two-man game using Juwan Oldham to set picks for Jordan. It's worked thus far.
In and out, West hustles for the rebound, loose on the floor, picked up by Jordan. Here come the Bulls on the transition. Sidney Green, not the man you want outside. Here's Woolridge. He's going to be short off the iron. Bagley can't run it down. Woolridge gets his own rebound.
Phil Hubbard had released trying to catch the Bulls on the fast break, but the rebound went the other way, and Woolridge came up with it.
Working on West as he comes around the top of the circle.
It's about the third time that Juwan Oldham has set a questionable pick away from the ball, and that time Wally Rooney spotted it as he tried to pick World B Free off, and the Bulls pick up their first foul.
It is Bagley and Free in the backcourt. Hinson, Hubbard the forwards, and West in the middle for the Cavaliers. As we open the 85 season, down low, good pass. Hinson got it, laid it in with the left hand.
And that's a good example, Jim, of the improvement of Roy Hinson. A year ago, that would have only been a dunk, but he has worked on that extra hand, and when Jordan gave pressure, he came up with a basketball, and the Bulls turn it over. Cavs with a chance to tie.
So we go back the opposite direction now. 6-4 Chicago leading. Game just underway. 9:35 to play in the first period. This is Free against Jordan. World pulls up for the outside one-hander. Believe me, when he gets it going,
unbelievable.
It's twine time.
He had Michael going the opposite way, so Michael wanted to return the favor. There's the two-man game.
Good dish off that time by Jordan to the 7-footer, Oldham. And, of course, he had the short man on him in World B, who got the foul. Back sits good.
Watch it again. Jordan, when the team double-teamed on him, went back out to Oldham. World with a little tick on the elbow, but out in the open like that, he's going to get called for it. First foul on World, second on the Cavs as a team.
7-footer out of Seattle misses the free throw. Bulls last year, not a good free-throwing club. Bagley on the outside. Jordan knocks it away. Free hustles and runs it down, losing the ball. Woolridge up with it, out to Jordan. On the run. Michael, great move with the leg. Can't get at the ball.
He walked with the ball twice.
No whistle, though.
George Karl knew he walked with the ball twice.
Bagley penetrates. Hubbard, he got hammered.
Foul will go on Oldham.
Jordan blocked the ball cleanly, but it was Oldham who caught him with the body.
Watch the advantage of the penetration. John Bagley, as he does so well, got it inside. Oldham there with the foul. Another angle on it. Look, Hubbard all alone. Jordan came over to help out, but Oldham committed the foul.
Oldham's second personal. Hubbard has trouble finding the net. His first opportunity at the free throw line.
What a great year Phil had last year for the Cavs.
1 point difference. Chicago has the lead at 8-7. Cavs trying to double team the ball now. Woolridge baseline one-hander around. No luck there. Ball battled for it underneath. West comes up with it. Knocked away by Jordan. And I believe Bagley got him with a reach-in on the loose ball.
Not a good pass on the outlet by Mark West. And then John, as often happens when he lost the ball, tried to reach and grab it back. And got called for the hand on the hip right there. First foul on Baggs.
Third team foul for the Bullets. Woolridge back outside Macy. Swing it to Jordan. Pulls up, free throw line, double clutch off the glass. You see the result.
My, oh my. He was totally off balance there and still got the shot off the glass.
4 points for Air Jordan. Baggs into the front court. They got Hinson set up on Sidney Green down low. Here comes the double team by Macy. Back outside to Bagley. Forced the pass in the lane, knocked away. And it's going to be Macy who tries to control. Got it ahead. Woolridge. That gets them off their feet. Woolridge now with 4 points.
Biggest lead of the ball game here in the early going. The 5-point advantage for the Bulls. Cavs just never found the handle on the ball.
World penetrate, had to dish it off. This is Hinson, tough move off the iron glass, and he brought it in.
Roy is very effective going to his left.
Cross lane pass knocked away by Bagley. Macy controlled, however. Inside it goes to Olam with a height advantage against Hinson. Jawan Olam now with 4.
They're also putting a lot of pressure on Oldham this year, Jim. They expect him to carry a greater load offensively. They realize the limitations of Dave Corzine now.
3 in the corner. Automatic. 14-11. Bulls in front. 7:05 to play first period. Jordan, good penetrating move. Unstoppable.
6 points for Jordan as the teams trade hoops. Just under 7 minutes to play here in the first period. A 5-point Cavs deficit.
This is Hubbard in between the circles. Wally Rooney stops the play. An offensive foul on Mark West. Breaking the action. Timeout on the floor. 6:50 to play in the first period. Chicago 16 and Cleveland 11.
This ESPN.
Welcome back to Chicago. Jack Corrigan along with Jim Brinson, and a 5-point Chicago lead here with 6:50 to play in the first quarter. Got a special WUAB Cavs discount opportunity for you. You can see 2 games for the price of 1 on an $11 reserve seat ticket. You can see the Bulls with Manute Bol, all 7 feet 7 inches of him, this Tuesday, October 29th. And then next Sunday, November 3rd, you can watch the Milwaukee Bucks at the Coliseum. You can see both games for $11. How you do it is during the telecast before 11 o'clock tonight, if you call in Cleveland 659-9107 or outside Cleveland 1-800-332-CAVS and charge your tickets, you'll get a special WUAB Cavs discount. 2 tickets for the price of 1. Use your Visa, MasterCard, or American Express card.
You did that so well. Manute Bol, tallest player in the league, even taller than Chuck Nevitt, your hero. All right, back to action now. Jordan under pressure. Kicks it into Olam. They play the 2-man game. Michael's got it again with the J from the outside. This time it won't drop. Bagley quickly into the front court. Finds World on the far side. Hinson posting up against Green. Across the lane past Bagley. Good pump fake. Moves inside. Gets Jordan off his feet. Ball. Rebound battle for it in underneath. Wally Rooney's got a loose ball foul.
The early shooting for the Chicago Bulls has been outstanding. They hit 7 of 11 as you look at Stan Albeck, new here to the Chicago area. The Cavs were 5 of 6 in the early going thus far. Rebounding and assists just about even.
Sidney Green hit with that personal foul. It was his first and the second team foul. And then just like magic, Bagley turns it over on a walk right in front of the official. If you're going to walk, don't do it when they're looking.
That's it.
Here's Macy. To Jordan on the outside with the jumper. Jordan with 8 points. 18-11, 6 minutes to play, first quarter.
They're using either Woolridge or Oldham down on the blocks and letting Jordan work off their picks to find either the jumper or the penetrating move.
Bagley trying to go around Macy. Macy knocked it loose. Bagley got it back over to World. Air ball right into the hands of Phil Hubbard. Now World's going to go down the other way and say, great pass.
Well, Hubbs is always around the hoop. He is one of the best offensive rebounders for his size, and they call Orlando Woolridge for carrying the basketball. So George's conversation with Wally Rooney during the timeout paid off as he got that carrying call.
Fans are going to have an opportunity to see one of the new players for the Cavaliers in a moment. The next opportunity to check in. Dirk Minifield will be coming in at guard. Free trying to get loose. He draws Woolridge with him, and they've got Hubbard against Jordan down low. Hinson takes it right over the top and missed the slam. Deep rebound to Bagley. Underneath. He threw it away. No, it was tapped by a Chicago player. I believe Sidney Green got a finger on it.
Dirk Minifield will come into the ball game. John Bagley sits down. Roy Hinson challenged Juwan Oldham. Out-jumped him, but just was a little too long with the jam.
There's a good look at the young man out of Kentucky. He played with Melvin Turpin. Ball is loose. Minifield runs it down. Dish it off to World on the outside. Free. Pull up. One-hander. No good. Deep rebound comes down to Woolridge. On the run. Orlando handling the basketball. Reach-in foul. Minifield.
Dirk with his first personal quickly into the ball game. He picks up the 4th team foul on the Cavaliers. Watch it again. Woolridge a little bit out of control, but Dirk more so. Got to learn to shuffle those feet rather than reach across the body, and that's why Minifield picked up the foul.
Inbounds play, far side. Kyle Macy. Woolridge outside. You forget that he does have a nice touch from that 15-foot range, so you do have to step out on him when he's in that 10 to 15-foot range.
Well, basically, they're going to build the offense at least until Gervin gets acclimated around Woolridge and around Michael Jordan. And Woolridge gets called for hooking on to Phil Hubbard.
His first personal and a 3rd team foul. Inbounds play near side for the Cavaliers. Comes into Minifield. Center lane penetration. Off it goes to West, who puts it in off the glass and scores. He got it up above Olam's outstretched arm.
That's again another example of how penetration puts pressure on the defense and gives you the opportunity to make the easy basket with one of your big men.
Mark West, of course, not noted as a scorer, more of a defensive center.
He's been working on it.
He has been, so anything he contributes always is a plus. Jordan with the miss at one end. We go back the other way. Lob in underneath. Stolen by Woolridge. Poor pass that time by Hinson.
Roy's about a half step out of sync after missing those couple of days with the inner ear problem.
Sidney Green can't get it to drop. Hubbs clears it out to Minifield. Penetrates. Has it knocked away. And a foul called.
Michael Jordan a step behind the basketball. Minifield has excellent acceleration, and he showed it right there. Watch it again. They kick the ball out to Minifield. Now right there they're even. He puts a crossover dribble move on, gets the step on Jordan, and Michael called for the reach in. Substitutions now for the Chicago Bulls. Dave Corzine comes into the ball game, replacing Juwan Oldham.
Bluebirds.
A mixed crowd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bluebirds are already out on Corzine, and it's the first game of the season. Not a popular fellow here, even though he had great seasons at the ball and played very, very well when he was in San Antonio. But since he's been with the Bulls, a little bit of a bust, to say the least. Minifield in the Cavalier official record book as he converts on both free throw opportunities. 3-point Bull lead, 2017. Just under 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Sidney Green. Woolridge outside. Free comes out to challenge him. Green looks for the penetrating move down the lane. Pulls up and sticks the jump shot. Sidney, not noted for having great hands, does not catch the ball well either, or put it on the floor well for that matter.
He can jump out of the gym.
And he can shoot it. Free goes right by Jordan. Great move by World B. 8 points for Free.
Excuse me, Jim. World is so effective driving right and then using the left hand when he's challenged by the big guy.
Here's Green outside. West has got him defensively. Green spins, soft shot, rolls around, won't fall. Tipped up and in. And Corzine's going to get credit for it, but I'm pretty sure it was Hinson who tipped it in.
No question it was Roy who tipped it in. You've got to work to try and block out Dave Corzine. He goes 265. And his little momentum into Roy ended up making it a tip.
Well, Ice is up off the bench. He gets a round of applause already. Hasn't even checked in yet. Roy Hinson from the outside, around and out. Woolridge skies off the rebound. Ball knocked away by Free. Picked up by Hubbard. All the way to the hoop. Around, no good. Rebound knocked away. Free gets it back. He goes in and scores.
Good defensive pressure by the Cavs as they kept putting the heat on Minifield, Free, and Hubbs, and it comes up with a basket.
Well, I think that's really what the strategy of this team. They're going to have to pressure. That's the way they're going to win games.
Edgar Jones will check in for the Cavs.
On the steal is
Watch
Hinson.
this one.
Corzine will challenge, and Hinson misses the left-hand slam. The foul to Corzine. And here come the wholesale substitutions. Edgar Jones and Mel Turpin will check in. And as we told you, George Gervin, the Iceman, will see his first official action as a Chicago Bull. Breaking the action, we'll do the same. 2:08 to play first quarter. Bulls 24, Cavaliers 21.
Sunday. You are watching Cavs basketball on WUAB TV, Channel 43, Ohio's television giant, as the Chicken has made his initial appearance for tonight's ball game at the Chicago Stadium. The Cavs and the Bulls 24-21. Chicago on top. Jim Brinson and I will be back behind the 43 microphones next Thursday night from the Cap Center in Landover, Maryland, as the Cavs will take on Manute Bol and Cliff Robinson and the rest of the Washington Bullets. 7:30 game time right here on Channel 43 next Thursday.
Now, wait a minute. You told me that in real life you were the Chicken. How can you be both places at once?
It's just one of the amazing things I do, Jim.
The secrets of television, ladies and gentlemen.
There you see George Gervin getting ready to make his initial appearance in Chicago. You'll have Gervin, Woolridge, Jordan, Green, and Corzine. The Cavs will counter with Turpin, Jones, Hinson, Minifield, and Free. And one of the things I think we should talk about tonight involving George Gervin is the relationship with Michael Jordan, Jim.
Yeah, it was very strained today in the newspaper accounts and also on all of the television stations. They were all doing their reports live from the stadium here tonight, indicating that Jordan extremely upset because of Gervin's acquisition with the team, stating the fact that, well, first off, he was angry because his best friend on the club, David Greenwood, was gone, and then his second best friend, Rod Higgins, also gone.
They had to release Higgins in order to meet the salary cap, as the Cavs do a good job at center floor to force the jump ball. What they did there is they got the guy they wanted to have the ball, Sidney Green, and ran the Dean Smith jump trap at center floor. George is picking up from the old man.
You bet he is.
2 minutes.
2 minutes to play in the quarter. It's a 1-point Bull advantage at 24-23.
Jordan also has concerns as how often he's going to see the ball, since both he and Gervin play the same style of game.
Woolridge. Well, if Woolridge keeps this up, Jordan and Gervin may never see it.
8 points for Orlando in the first period. The Bulls on top by 3. They led by 7 on 2 occasions here in the first period.
Free from the outside. He's going to take it right to the hoop, and he's nailed. Now that, my friends, is the way you get to the free throw line, and he is one of the best at doing that.
And there's no question around the NBA, this guy does not play a heck of a lot of defense.
No, listen, even you could get a bucket on him.
And you see the whack across the arm will send World to the line for a pair.
Average 16 points a contest during the preseason. Second leading scorer behind Hinson.
An 11-point first period already for World.
26-24, 26-25, 1:31 to play. Chicago has a 1-point advantage. So now you have Jordan playing the point guard slot. Gervin blocked before he made his move in between Edgar Jones and Dirk Minifield.
Again, the jump trap, this time with 3 guys, Free, Minifield, and Edgar Jones, and it paid off.
Well, this is a smart move on the coach's part, George Karl, from the standpoint that the Bulls have so many new faces on this club, particularly now with Gervin coming in. Nobody really knows what to expect. So you come out with the trap, and you get them confused quickly. Good defense that time by Sidney Green. Hinson with a poor shot. And quickly the Bulls are back down the opposite direction. Free reaches in, can't get it. Woolridge burns him.
10-point quarter for the Big O out of Notre Dame, and again a 3-point Chicago advantage.
Under a minute to play. World with a 3-point shot. That takes care of that 3-point lead. 15 points in the first period by Free. And they were hoping that World would get off quickly tonight, and he has. Jordan kicks it in the lane.
Good help by Mel Turpin.
Minifield on the break. Off the glass and in. As he beat Woolridge to the basket.
First Cavs lead of the night. 4 points for Minifield. The only guy who can go faster than Dirk is his cousin Frank with the Browns.
Plays defensive back. Frank played at Louisville and Dirk at Kentucky. 7 on the shot clock. Jordan with the tongue extended. Bad pass, center of the lane. Gervin tried to get it over to Corzine. Did so. Corzine's shot won't drop. 7 seconds left first period. Free. Down to 4 seconds. Hinson from way outside. No good as he banged it hard off the glass and then the iron. And the Cavaliers, after trailing the majority of the first period, come out with a 2-point advantage. First period in the record book. Score: Cleveland 30, Chicago 28. It is 30-28 as we get ready for the start of the second period. Remember, we talked about that ticket offer. Well, here's Jack with all the info.
Again, 2 games at the Coliseum for the price of just one $11 reserve seat ticket. You can see the Bullets this Tuesday, the 29th, and then the Milwaukee Bucks next Sunday, November 3rd. Both games for just $11. You have to call during the broadcast tonight up until 11 o'clock, and you get the UAB discount. In Cleveland, call 659-9107. Outside the Cleveland area, 1-800-332-CAVS, C-A-V-S. You use your Visa, MasterCard, or American Express card to charge your ticket. Speaking of tickets, there are still some tickets available for tomorrow night's home opener against the Boston Celtics, but the tickets will be available only at Ticketron locations and the Coliseum box office.
For the Cavaliers, it is Bagley. Ron Anderson is checked in the lineup. Edgar Jones, Ben Poquette, Mel Turpin. For the Bulls, they stay with Michael Jordan as Bagley burns him on that offensive move.
First hoop of the season for the Bagman and a 4-point Cavs lead.
Gene Banks is into the lineup along with the Iceman George Gervin, Dave Corzine, and a friend of yours, Mr. Oakley, is there.
Charles Oakley, the youngster out of John Hay and Virginia Union.
Here's Corzine, baseline, spins over Mel Turpin, no good. Rebound, Edgar Jones. Outlet goes to Bagley. Cavaliers pick up the tempo. Bagley inside, ball loose on the floor. Who's got it? Turpin had it, went up, couldn't get it to score, and Corzine took it away, and now he gets a round of applause after they almost booed him out of the building when they introduced him.
Turp came up with a loose ball, but he was too far into the basket. When he tried to put it up, he hit the underneath part of the backboard.
Ice, Gene Banks. Turpin got a hand on that misguided missile. Banks picks up the loose change underneath. Banks' first bucket, young man out of Duke University. Again, another San Antonio Spur.
Right now, the Bulls on the floor do not have a real good ball handler outside of Jordan.
Edgar Jones from too far outside for him.
But they are big on the floor right now.
That's true, they are. Kicked away by Edgar.
A new 24.
Young man out of Nevada, Reno University.
Fresh 24 since it was a kick violation, accurately called by Bennett Salvatore. I tell you what, Bennett Salvatore working the baseline, one of the good young officials now in the NBA. I think he does an excellent job.
Here's Ice with his first shot. No good. Good block out that time by Turpin along with Edgar Jones. It was all Cavaliers underneath. Bagley spinning move in the lane to Edgar baseline, and he got that one to fall. Well, he stepped in 1 foot.
The penetration again. Everybody collapsed around Bags, and EJ was wide open on the baseline.
Edgar's first basket, Cavalier 4-point advantage. Jordan from outside.
They're trying to post Gervin down low on Ron Anderson. The Cavs are doing a good job double teaming him. They got a guard against the kick out back to Jordan.
Edgar Jones goes for a Sunday stroll without dribbling the basketball. Kyle Macy into the lineup. Jordan will get his first rest.
Now you will see much more of a real set offense. Macy in there is a conservative player, to say the least.
More of a point guard. The three-pointer by Macy, and he got it. I was just going to say, too, for the Phoenix Suns, he was their best three-point shooter.
Gives the lead back to Chicago. But that's how he is effective offensively. He is not a penetrator. Macy will take the jumper, and that's why they've got him in there paired with Gervin to work the up and down game.
In the center of the lane, they go to Poquette. Pushing violation. I believe it's on Oakley. It is. That's his first. And the first team foul of Chicago here in the second quarter. 35-34. Chicago leads by a point. Bagley slips, still maintains possession of the basketball, pulls up and takes the jumper. No good. Rebound, Poquette. Returns it, no good. Rebound, Oakley comes up with it. Bounce pass over to Macy. They're on the run the other way. Corzine. And it'll count. They call the foul on Ron Anderson for blocking.
4 points for Corzine. First foul on Anderson. Get another look at it. And it's a little hard to tell from that angle. Now we'll see from ground level if Ron was set or not. Corzine goes. Wow. He said he pulled him. Wally Rooney right in front of us said he pulled him down.
George Karl said Corzine can't get off the ground that fast. Well, of course, the argument is to no use. Play continues. Anderson had a good preseason, as did Mel Turpin, who has come into camp lighter and stronger. Worked hard on the weights to improve that upper body strength. Gervin with the shot. Nice man, his first basket. Well, they could have fireworks in this town.
But not much defense.
That's true. Ron Anderson nails it from the baseline.
Ronnie, of course, is a native of Chicago. Had to give out a lot of tickets tonight.
Oakley around, it won't fall. Rebound, Corzine hustles, but Turpin comes up with it. Bagley on the run the opposite direction. Penetrate. Oh, he threw up a prayer and it was answered. Charles Bagley.
I tell you what, the Bags throws up a lot of prayers that get answered.
4 points for Bags.
And as we said last year, he works at that, Jim. He spends time spinning them off the glass, seeing how they're going to drop. And after a while, when he does so many of them, you stop saying they were unbelievable.
Well, you don't want that man to start to unload. That's 4 points for Gervin. 42-40. Chicago in front by a deuce. Bagley playing the point, swinging around. Ron Anderson's got another one. Young man out of Fresno State had all the injury troubles last season. Every time, however, when he was healthy, he played very, very well. He just didn't see enough minutes due to injury.
Had an outstanding opener against Dr. J and then was hurt several games later. Missed a lot of the season.
Banks out to Macy. That's his range. Macy, a long-range bomber. 5 points for Macy.
They want to get the ball or force the ball into Banks' hands as much as possible because Gene's an open floor player. When Chicago is in a half-court offense, Banks is limited.
Bagley goes around. Macy can't get at the ball. Bagley knocked it away when Oakley came down with a rebound, and he got tagged for the foul on the reach-in. Timeout's going to be called. We'll do the same. 6:54 to play in the first half. It's a 2-point Chicago lead at 44-42.
Welcome back to Chicago. Jack Corrigan along with Jim Brinson. Want to remind you once again about the special WUAB Cavs discount ticket opportunity. You can get 2 games for the price of one $11 reserve seat ticket. You'll get a chance to see the Washington Bullets with Manute Bol and Cliff Robinson and company this coming Tuesday, October 29th at 7:30. And next Sunday, November 3rd at 7 o'clock, Sidney Moncrief and the Milwaukee Bucks come to the Coliseum. You can see both those games for the price of one ticket. To qualify for it, call during the broadcast before 11 o'clock tonight, Cleveland time, and you'll get the special Cavs WUAB discount. If you're in the Cleveland area, 659-9107. Outside the Cleveland area, it's 1-800-332-CAVS. You can use your Visa, MasterCard, or American Express card to charge your tickets.
Official stats have arrived. The Cavs shooting 52% in the first half from the floor. Well, the Bulls were at 51. 87% shooting at the line by Cleveland. 75 for Chicago. And play has begun. It is Bagley, Free, Hinson, Hubbard, and West against Macy, Jordan, Green, Olam, and Woolridge. 54-52. Woolridge going baseline, spin move, rejected beautifully by West, and that's what you need is a stopper in the center of the lane. Bagley the other way, give it off to World. 15 first half points, penetrates, tried to dish it, wanted to get it over to West. Mark didn't see the ball coming, and it just went out of bounds. That makes coach's hairs grayer.
Or thinner in George's case. He'll kill me for saying that.
Yep, we'll hear about that one tomorrow.
His wife Kathy will get out of me.
Jordan from the outside.
Michael Jordan.
16 points for MJ. And a 4-point Bulls lead once again.
Bagley swings it to Hubbard, who pops out in between the circles. Does not like to dribble the basketball that much. Bagley looking for the penetration. Got it, throws up an off-balance shot, won't fall. Rebound, Sidney Green. Outlet pass goes to Jordan. He's got Woolridge breaking. Instead, gives it off to Olam, who is the man coming down the center of the lane on the trail. Olam with 8 points.
Good court vision by Michael Jordan because the Cavs were starting to sag back to Orlando Woolridge on the other wing.
Bagley moves inside, and he missed the layup. Rebound, and right over the hoop was Hubbard. Missed everything. Jordan right back the other way. Inside, Woolridge, and he's hammered by Hinson. So Chicago trying to open it up quickly here in the third with a running game.
Cavs have been a little stale coming out of the shoot, and the Bulls have been kicking it up the floor. Roy with the foul there, but a good foul to take because Woolridge was going for an easy 2.
Second personal on Hinson. That'll send Woolridge to the line. That is his first, which drops through. He was 2 of 2 in the first half. 5 rebounds in that period, and a collection of 12. And he drops down the second one. 8-point advantage in favor of the Bulls.
Biggest one of the ball game for either club.
Hinson from outside, and Roy nailed it.
It's one new adjustment to the Cavs attack offensively. Last year you would not see Roy take that 18-foot jumper that often. He has developed confidence in that jump shot. That will further spread open the floor for the Cavs offensively.
They double team Jordan in the corner, and the whistle and the foul, and it's on Free. Third personal on Free, and the second team foul on the Cavs.
World a little slow there, got caught with the whack on the arm.
Macy against Bagley, looks for penetration. Green trying to post up down low. Instead, the jumper taken by Woolridge, in and out, and the Cavs have it. Lead pass. West, he walked with the basketball.
There's the layoff for the John Bagley holdout. He's just not quite in
Full sync.
the full sync that you want. Because it was a good idea to mark just a hair too long.
Jordan between the legs, dribble outside. He is triple teamed right there. Now they dish it off. Down low. Nice pass that time by Sidney Green as Jordan gets the slam.
The one thing about Michael Jordan, he will not stand still if he doesn't have the basketball. Good movement away from the ball that produced that basket.
Jordan with 18, and he's bellied right up to World B. And Free did the right thing as he got the foul on Jordan.
There's the Jordan basket a moment ago as he caught the Cavs a little slow reacting to him for the easy slam. At the other end, Jordan picked up his third, and another quick whistle.
This one's on Sidney Green. That's his second, and the second team foul on Chicago. Cavs have turned the ball over 14 times. And another whistle and stoppage of play. And Sidney's got tagged again. That's his third. I'd scratch my head too.
Well, Green is trying to establish defensive position, Hinson offensive position, and both times they ruled that Sidney was the guilty party.
Here's Bagley outside. Let's see if they try to work on Green a little more. Hinson, no good. Rebound, snatched out of the air by Macy. To Woolridge. He walked. Bennett Salvatore was ready to call it, and Wally Rooney beat him to it.
Well, World got just enough of that basketball. Now we got a technical foul on George Karl as Bennett Salvatore came up the floor. George asked him for a good place for Chicago-style pizza, and Bennett said, "Not while we're playing, George," and called the technical.
And that'll send Macy to the line, one of the premier free throw shooters in the NBA.
Of course, in part due to the fact that he doesn't take that many shots.
Oh, and he missed it.
He doesn't go to the line that often, but you're right, he does have very good proficiency. We'll be glad that he missed that one, though.
George Karl still talking.
George is saying to himself, "Hey, I got away with more than that last year. Now I'm being a nice guy and I get the tee."
Well, Bennett Salvatore was all the way on the other side.
Cavs with just one basket here in 3.5 minutes of third quarter action.
Free from way outside, short. Rebound battled for, and Hubbard went up and got it, then was fouled from behind.
And it is on Sidney Green.
That's number 4. Let's see if Hubbard walks with the basketball before the foul. He comes down and does a little disco dance and then gets nailed. So he got away with a walk that time. Green will go to the bench, and Charles Oakley checks back into the lineup.
Well, whether Stan Albeck wanted to or not, Charles Oakley, the young rookie out of Virginia Union and Cleveland's John Hay High School, going to get a lot of minutes tonight.
Yep. And Hubbard only gets the iron. You know who else is missing from this club? Caldwell Jones.
That's right. Caldwell no longer with the Bulls.
1 of 2 for Hubbard. 62-55, backcourt pressure. They get it to Jordan, who breaks it, goes right to the hoop. Oldham.
Juwan Oldham has been a factor tonight.
64-55. Chicago on top.
10 points out of the big 7-footer from Seattle, and we're going to get a shove off. No, they're going to get the foul called on Woolridge as he was battling Orlando Woolridge. That'll put the Bulls over the limit.
Well, you know, I thought exactly what you were thinking. You and I both saw Hubbard push, but Woolridge must have gotten the hold first. Here's Juwan Oldham one more time.
A little soft jump hook.
Now that's a shot that he had to develop, because when he played for Seattle University, he did not have that shot. So he has developed that shot since coming into the NBA.
Hubbs, generally a good free throw shooter, has been struggling tonight. 2 of 5.
Missed another one, yep.
Just 3 points for the Cavs, and we're under the 8-minute mark of period 3. Macy walk with the basketball.
Down low, Woolridge in the center of the lane, blocked beautifully by West, put back up, but no good that time. And the Bulls now moving the ball extremely well against the pressure of the Cavaliers.
And the Cavs are going to take a time as we'll watch this one again. Oakley goes up for the shot, double pumps, and Mark West got a little bit of the right wrist.
All right, 7:37 to play in the third period. Bulls 64, the Cavs 55.
7 minutes and 37 seconds to play here in the third period at venerable old Chicago Stadium on the west side of Chicago. The Bulls leading at 64-55 with a 10-3 spurt here coming out of the gate in the second half. And quite frankly, Jim Brinson, the Cavs have been less than spectacular here in the opening minutes of the second half.
I suppose lackluster might be another term that we could toss out. They need to get things going, and they need to get it going quickly. Otherwise, Chicago can explode on you and put this game out of reach in a hurry.
Cavs last year in their 3 games here at Chicago Stadium, all 3 which went down to the wire, incidentally. The Cavs winning the final game here at Chicago in overtime. And in all 3 of those games, the Cavs had periods where they fell behind into double figures and then battled back. They are developing the same scenario here tonight.
And everybody knows that's a tough way to win. Oakley makes the first one.
His first point as an NBA player. This young man was outstanding in Division II basketball at Virginia Union down in Richmond. I saw him play in college. He's got a lot of talent.
Well, they obviously like him here. 10-point Bull lead at 65-55. Free against Jordan. World loses it. Now he's double teamed. Kicks it over to Hinson way outside the three-point line. And a whistle away from the ball.
This time it's Phil Hubbard getting called for the bang on Orlando Woolridge as those two gentlemen eye each other. First foul on Hubbs. Cavs 1 of 8 from the floor here in the second half thus far.
Macy to Jordan. Baseline. Dishes it off. Olam has difficulty controlling. And a 3-second lane violation called by Wally Rooney.
Well, Michael Jordan occasionally gets caught in trouble up in the air, and that's what happened that time. As he left the floor, Oakley went in to position himself for the rebound that never came.
Bagley right over Macy. Now Macy that time let him get inside the free throw line. To me, Bagley's got to pull up and take that shot. He's 8 feet away. He's got to stick the J. Nice pass. Jordan cuts loose down below and scores. They backpicked that time, and World B got taken out of the play. Jordan was wide open. 20 now for Michael Jordan.
And he can double pump better than anybody, or as well as anybody.
That's correct. Hinson to Hubbard, rather springs out. Hub puts up one and won't drop. Rebound to Macy. We run the opposite direction. Olam out in front on the break. They swing it to Woolridge, the trailer, and the foul.
Cavs were really out of sync defensively that time. Watch it again on the replay. See all the Cavs spread out of the floor. Woolridge down the lane, and Mark West picked up the foul.
That's his fourth. And quickly, Mel Turpin is off the bench and into the lineup as West takes a seat on the pine. And Woolridge at the line now with a three-point play, and he got it. Orlando now with 17. 70-57. World B in traffic. Double clutch, ditched it to Hinson. He's in trouble. Time running down. They get it over to Free. Three-pointer was partially blocked. Ball is loose. Jordan comes up with it. Goes around Free on the break to Woolridge. Blocked there by Hinson. Outlet goes to Hubbard. Over to World B. Penetrating move. Puts up an off-balance one-hander. Got it back. Goes up and he's hammered. And if it wasn't Macy, it was Oakley. But I think it was Macy.
Boy, Roy Hinson with just a fabulous block on Orlando Woolridge at the other end of the floor. The Cavs are still struggling offensively. George Gervin popping up off the bench for the Bulls.
World converts on his first opportunity. Gervin in. Macy will leave.
That's the first point by World since he scored 15 in the first period. There's Gervin back in the ball game. George with 4 points and 2 fouls.
17 points now for Free. As Jack mentioned, 15 in the first period, and then we didn't hear from him again until now. And they need to get him off. 7-point Chicago lead. 5:35 to play in the third. They're trying to post up against Turpin down low. That is the Iceman. In the lane, Oakley walked, but there was no whistle. Rebound, it's loose. Jordan picks it up, it's on the floor. Who's got it? Oakley. Across the lane it comes. Olam. No good. Rebound comes down to Hubbard. So the Cavs get a lucky break that time. In the center of the lane, intended for Turpin, and a reach-in foul on Olam as he went around Big Mel. I'm telling you now, Turpin, he is a big guy, particularly around the behind section, okay? And if you're going to reach, you better have really long arms.
Well, you don't often like to see a bounce pass into one of the big guys, and Olam called for the cheap foul, and Dave Corzine will replace him. You are watching Cavs basketball on WUAB TV, Channel 43, serving the Lorain-Cleveland area, Ohio's television sports giant.
Turpin converts now with 5 points. And for a big guy, pretty good touch at the free throw line.
Outstanding. There's no question. Turpin can bring the ball home. The other parts of his game improved this year. He's going to be a very fine NBA player.
Here's Jordan breaking the pressure. Knocked away by Bagley. All alone at the other end is Free. Now that's the defense that George Karl is hoping to see to get them back into this game. They now trail by 7, so a little burst here Free has picked up 4 quick ones. He now has 19 total. Gervin, no good. Rebound battled for. Hinson with a rebound. Outlet to Free. 3-on-1. Over to Bagley. In underneath for the reverse, and he scores. George Karl up off the bench in front of our broadcast position, directing traffic. 8 points for Bagley, and quickly Chicago calls time.
An 8-point spurt by the Cavs. They're right back in it.
4:27 to play, third period. Bulls 70, Cavs 65.
Back at Chicago Stadium, the Bulls leading the Cavs 70-65, but a few moments ago it was 70-57, so the Cavs are right back in it. Channel 43, of course, is also the television home of the Cleveland Force of the Major Indoor Soccer League, and our first Force telecast will be Friday, November 22nd at 8:30 from the Met Center in Minneapolis when the Force takes on the Minnesota Strikers. The Chicken doing his routine out at center floor, stripping a young man in a warm-up suit to reveal a Cavs uniform underneath, and he's escorted out by a pair of security guards. That's a new bit for the Chicken.
Is that our producer?
No, I heard Curb on the headsets. He's still out in the truck, safe and sound.
Gary having some fun out there. 70-65. We're in the third with 4:27 to play. Little timeout to clean up the spilt popcorn. Probably had butter on it.
The Bulls again are with that lineup, Jim, that does not have a great ball handler outside of Jordan.
That's who's going to control play outside. Michael penetrates, puts it up, in and out, rebound, battled for, it's loose. Bagley comes up with it. He's got Free breaking along with Hinson on the line. Roy throws it up, but he couldn't control it. He was out of control, going too far past the basket. Jordan lob into the corner. Turpin almost got it. Down low, wide open. Ice. Rebound. I think they're going to call Oakley for basket interference. They did. Still in the cylinder.
It was good vision on the part of Michael Jordan, or excuse me, Orlando Woolridge, who spotted Gervin all alone, but he really could take an easy shot, and there you saw Oakley grab the front of the rim.
Bagley penetrates, falls away. Now that's the shot that I was talking about. He's already got him in the paint. So just fall away from 5 or 6 feet and drop in the short jumper. 10 points for Bagley in double figures now.
A 10-point run now by the Cavs.
They trail by 3.
They did this so often last year against this Chicago club.
Here's Ice in the corner. Loses his footing, goes down, dished it to Corzine, who missed the shot. Jordan rebounds, goes back up.
I think they're going to call Oakley or Jordan. They're going to call Jordan for trying to clear the lane with his arm. And Jordan's got 4.
Stan Albeck not pleased. 4 personals on his star. Here it is again.
Ben Poquette will come in for the Cavs at the next stop. Let's watch it again.
Right there. He cleared out.
He shoved Hinson.
Back to live action. Hubbard down low. Can't get it to drop. Rebound comes to Oakley. Outlet to Woolridge. We start back the other way.
3:05 to go here in the third period.
Baseline, Orlando. Woolridge with 19.
7-point third quarter for the Big O.
72-67. Free penetrates off the glass, and he got it to drop in. That's the type of play that he displayed in the first period. Woolridge goes right around Hubbard, loses the basketball. Hubbard to Bagley. Bagley, dish, Free, puts it up, it counts, and he's fouled.
And it's on Jordan, and that's 5. It was a cheap one, but a great pass by John Bagley. And Jordan, who they were trying to get off the floor, picks up his 5th.
All the substitutions as Jordan goes to the bench. Kyle Macy is in, along with Gene Banks. And for the Cavs, Ben Poquette into the lineup. And that sends World B to the line. He can tie it right here. And he couldn't get it to drop. Corzine tied up underneath, but he shakes everybody off. At 7 feet and 265, you can do that.
Yes, you can.
Banks has the ball knocked away, but he got it down low to Oakley, who's hammered.
Going to call the foul on Mel Turpin.
Ron Anderson into the lineup as Free leaves.
Cavs are now over the limit as well. There'll be free throws for both sides on every foul in the final 2:26 of period 3.
1 point Bull lead. They got a 2-point advantage. Good look at Charles Oakley, rookie player, Virginia Union. (74-71). Minifield into the lineup. 3 points for Oakley in the contest. Minifield's pass knocked away. Hubbard chases it, can't control. Picked up by Banks. Pulls into the front court. Banks is not the guy you want to be handling the ball. Bad pass, Corzine, picked off by Minifield, who has extremely quick hands. Dirk, as Anderson collects the easy layup at the other end.
Cavs just have too much speed on the floor right now for the Bulls, and that includes Ben Poquette and Mel Turpin.
People forget that those big guys can get up and down the floor pretty well. They run well for big men. Woolridge has it knocked away.
Hubbs tried to pick his pocket from the backside, but Wally Rooney was right there. George a little disappointed in the call, but Wally had a great view of that one.
Second personal, 15 foul. Hubbard goes to the pine. Edgar Jones checks in for Cleveland.
Woolridge with 19 points on the night. He and Jordan have 39 of the 74 Bull points.
Not this time for the Big O. Edgar Jones, who lost his 2 front teeth playing hoops in Vatorino.
The Vampire.
The Vampire.
Cavs can tie with a hoop here with 1:40 to play in period 3.
Edgar from way outside. Oh, good heavens.
Well, EJ can surprise you. You don't want him to take a lot of those, but he's got a nice stroke from 18, and Cavs work certain plays to give him that free jumper at the top of the circle. It paid off there.
Well, he didn't wait. He triggered it right away. 4 points for Edgar Jones. Macy, penetrating move, kicks it back. Corzine from the outside, buried it.
Although Corzine got the hoop there, Jim, there's another example of Macy being afraid to take it all the way to the glass in a half-court situation.
Poquette swinging around to Anderson. They're trying to work low on Turpin. He's got it. Spin move baseline. No good as he hit the iron and came out. Woolridge on the run the opposite way. Now we'll slow it up as the Cavs get back defensively. Corzine wants it in the middle. He's got it. Knocked away. Ball loose on the floor. Scramble. First down. 10-yard line.
3-second violation. Good call by Wally Rooney. As soon as Corzine touched the ball again, he was going to be called for the 3-second violation.
That's correct. We're down to 40 seconds to play in the third. Cleveland trails by a deuce. Minifield right to the hoop for the swoop and the score.
Tied at 77.
Minifield with 6 points. Now there's the guy you don't want bringing the ball up. Gene Banks. Anderson putting all kinds of pressure on him, and Banks so far maintains his cool and gets the pass off to Corzine. They swing it now to Oakley. Cavaliers defense is excellent. And the foul's going to be on Edgar Jones. I spoke too soon.
First foul on EJ, but both clubs are over the limit. We've had 9 ties in the ball game thus far. Jim, let me count up the lead changes. 1, 2, 3 lead changes, 4 lead changes thus far.
$77 all. Oakley's good again at the free throw line. All 4 of his points at the line.
It's a young man who was a late bloomer, played well in high school, but really developed in college. Not only in terms of playing the game, but physically as well.
Yeah, he's got a pro body. There's no question about that.
Boy.
79-77. 10 seconds on the clock. We'll count it down for you. They're going to run it right now at 7. Minifield right to the hoop. Knocked away by Woolridge. Banks on the run the other way. He puts up a prayer, and it won't fall.
It wouldn't have counted anyway.
So at the end of 3, the Cavs make a run to get back into the game. They trail by a deuce. The Bulls 79, Cavaliers 77.
6:20 to play here at Chicago Stadium. The Bulls have seen the Cavs regain the lead on them 90-89 with Ron Anderson trying for the three-point play. Want to remind you this program is authorized under television rights granted Gaylord Broadcasting Company of Ohio by the Cleveland Professional Basketball Company solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Cleveland Basketball Company and Gaylord Broadcasting Company of Ohio is strictly prohibited.
You won't believe this, viewers, but he has that memorized.
Well, after the Indians and the Cavs and the Force from a year ago, you read it enough, you get it down pretty well.
You absolutely amaze me.
Cavs with a chance to take a 2-point lead as Ron Anderson goes to the line. Just great hustle once again, Jim. We can't emphasize enough the hustle of Dirk Minifield that resulted in the Anderson basket.
91, 89. Michael Jordan back into the lineup. Remember, he's playing with 5 personal fouls. Jordan and Macy in the backcourt. Green, Woolridge, Olam. Macy down the lane, lay it up, no good. Rebound loose on the floor, picked up by Minifield. Lead pass goes to Ron Anderson, and he scores.
Ron Anderson.
Ronnie with 13, another good assist. Cavs out to a 4-point lead. That matches their biggest lead of the night. They enjoyed twice in the second quarter.
And we should point out that this is taking place without John Bagley and World Be Free. Woolridge. It'll count. The continuation rule in the NBA.
The longest continuation you're ever going to see.
He popped out to get a sandwich, and then he went up and scored.
Ben Poquette called for the foul. The reach there, no question about it, and a good call on a baseline by Bennett Salvatore because Woolridge was still moving to the hoop when the grab was made. He gets the 3-point play.
1-point Cavalier advantage, 93-92. We're down to 5:45 to play in the game.
25 points tonight for Orlando Woolridge. Sidney Green also has 5 personal fouls on the floor. He makes a nice defensive play there with the reach around and tap it away. Green with 5, Jordan with 5, Macy, who is not in the ball game, yes he is, has got 4. Oldham also in the ball game has 4. Here come World and Baggs off the bench.
Minifield directing traffic. Bad pass right into the hands of Sidney Green. Green in the center of the lane, puts it up, it won't fall, and he got the foul.
I mentioned this a little bit earlier, Jim. One of the things that George Karl tries to work at with his guards, and it's a good thing as we watch it again. Right here it starts. You do not want to throw the ball to a big guy with a bounce pass. That's why he's 6'9" or bigger. Get it up where he can grab it, not down on the floor where he's vulnerable.
Now you let those little guard guys bounce the ball around. The big guys want it up around the rim. Sidney Green at the line, and it's too hard.
Minifield sits down with the 3 personals, but 9 points for the rookie from Kentucky. Green now 2 of 3 at the line, 10 points in the ball game.
Good debut by Minifield. Missed both opportunities. West with the rebound. So the Cavs still have a 1-point advantage. 5:20 to play. And they're going to spread it out. Bagley over to Hinson. Double team.
Illegal
defense.
No question about that. World was outside the 3-point line, and nobody picked him up because Jordan, Macy, and Green were all around the basketball.
Poquette will trigger the inbounds pass to Bagley. They're looking for World around the pick. They got Hinson posting down low on Green. World penetrates, dishes. Poquette, top of the circle.
Big Ben into the book.
That's his first bucket. 95-92. Woolridge going baseline, and West pinned it against the glass. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, Jack, I think if he wouldn't have pinned it against the glass, it might have been a good block.
Good first step here by Woolridge as he goes to the hoop, and good call. 27 points for Orlando Woolridge, a 1-point game again. Trying to get it to World to get that 6th foul on Jordan.
They're working at it. Here it is. Mad shot by Free. Went right over to Hinson, and he's clobbered. So the Cavs doing really what they do best, and that is attack the basket.
Sidney Green has just fouled out of the ball game with that personal foul, as you see Phil Hubbard come back into the ball game. So Green fouls out with 4.5 to go in regulation.
Well, now Stan Albeck and company, Tex Winter down there chatting with each other. They're going to figure out who in the world are they going to put in. They're going to go with Ice, a guy who just got into town, or are they going to go with a big guy? It's going to be Corzine.
And you can hear the fans' reaction to that.
So they're going to really go big on the front line with Corzine and Olam, the 2 7-footers, and Woolridge at 6'8".
What happens to the Bulls right now offensively, though, Jim, with the 5 personal fouls on Jordan, they really become a half-court perimeter team because you're taking away Michael's penetration with those 5 personals.
15 points for Hinson, make it 16. 97-94, 4:30 to play. Here comes the pressure right at midcourt on the trap. Jordan breaks it, drew the foul. And I believe it's on Free for a push. It was a cheapie, but he definitely didn't do it. And that is 4 on World. And that's something I'm sure that Coach George Karl is not happy to see. You don't want him to go to the free throw line and score when the clock is stopped. Not when there's 4 minutes remaining.
Particularly Jordan as well, Jim, because he's got those 5 personal fouls. So make him work for the offensive points. Don't give him the easy ones.
22 for Jordan. Bagley, Poquette, Free, Hinson, Hubbard on the floor right now for the Cavs. It's Macy, Jordan, Olam, Corzine, and Woolridge. Bagley knifes inside off the glass with a splendid right-hand flip move. 99-96. Bagley in double figures. He has 12. Jordan from the outside. No good. Rebound. Olam goes to the offensive boards and then walks when he tries to make the return.
Well, Ben Poquette is not the flashiest guy going, but he is fundamentally so sound. And it was his defensive fundamentals right there that forced the turnover.
He is a spectacular role player. 4:02 to play. Cavs 99, Bulls 96. Jim Ritz and Jack Corrigan, we are live at Chicago Stadium, Chicago, Illinois. It is the opener of the NBA, and the Cavs with a 99-96 advantage with a little more than 4 minutes to go.
Of course, the Cavs open the season tomorrow night at the Coliseum at home, the season opener against the Boston Celtics. Some tickets still left. Ticketron on the box offices tomorrow, and you still have some time left for that Channel 43 Cavs ticket discount. $11 gets you 2 seats for a 1-seat price.
What's that phone number, my man?
The phone number in Cleveland, 659-9107. Outside Cleveland, 1-800-332-CAVS. Visa, MasterCard, or American Express to see the Bullets on Tuesday and the Bucks next Sunday. Cavs bench has outscored the Chicago bench 36-18.
Attendance here tonight, 11,124. Ball knocked away. Here's Jordan on the break against Free. Remember, World's got 4. Beautiful block by Hinson as he came from the weak side.
Ben Poquette called for the foul. Baggs went inside, gets rejected by Oldham. It comes out to Jordan, and Michael is forced to work a little bit because of World. Never knew Hinson was there. What a block by Roy. Unfortunately for the Cavs, Woolridge beat Ben Poquette down the floor, and Woolridge with a chance to bring the Bulls within 1.
First one rattles around and pops in. 29 points tonight for Orlando Woolridge out of Notre Dame. Second one also good. 1 point Cavalier advantage. 3:45 to play in the contest. It's Bagley, Hinson, Poquette, Hubbard, and Free against Macy, Jordan, Woolridge, Corzine, and Olam. Good defense now by Chicago.
They've got Woolridge on World, and
Woolridge, I believe, has got him with a bump.
Yep. 3rd foul only on Woolridge, Jim, but the Bulls are over the limit, so World will have a couple of free throws. You mentioned a crowd of 11-6 tonight. There's at least one Cavs fan out there. Howard Krantz wanted to say hello to his wife back in Cleveland and wanted to say hello to his brothers who are watching Channel 43 down in Columbus.
Well, that's awfully nice. We pass along all the information. Free connects on the first and the second. Cavs 101, Bulls 98.
25 points for World tonight to lead the Cavs attack, which has been a little more balanced than Chicago.
Woolridge swinging the corner. Macy can't get the shot off. Woolridge way outside. Tough one-hander. No good. Rebound. Oldham couldn't control it. Freeze got it in the corner.
Boy, were Oldham and Hinson banging away on the backside with just over 3 minutes to play and a 3-point Cavs lead.
Now they're trying to run some time down off the shot clock. Free against Jordan. He's looking for it right here. Spins on Jordan. Had to kick it off. Bagley's got it. Penetrates. Tough shot with the flip. It's good. John Bagley.
He's unbelievable with those shots.
14 for Bags.
Biggest Cavs lead at 5.
Macy three-pointer. Short off the iron. Rebound. Corzine's got it. Rejected by Hinson. And it's going to be a goal, Chad.
Cavs got a little sloppy after Macy tried the three-point attempt. And Corzine came up with a loose ball. Roy called for the goaltend.
3-point Cavalier lead. 103-100. 2:28 to play. They dish it off. Hinson free throw line jumper around and out. Corzine with the rebound. Off to Macy. Woolridge penetrates around Hubbard. Pulls up. Good. 1-point Cleveland advantage. 32 points tonight for Orlando Woolridge.
Boston and New Jersey in overtime, tied at 99 at the Meadowlands.
And we've got a dandy right here at the stadium in Chicago. 1-point Cleveland lead. Free goes by Jordan. Pump fake. Kicks it off. Bagley over. Macy, no good. Rebound. Free. Big offensive board.
Cavs will run some time down with the fresh 24 that's now down to 16. 1:40 to go in the game.
Free wants the pick by Poquette, gets it. Now he's got the mismatch with Corzine on him, goes right by him, kicks it off. Hinson pump fake, off to World B, over Corzine, no good, rebound, Hinson saves it.
And a fresh 24 with 1:25 to play.
They'll take their time now and reset the offense. It is a 1-point game. Cleveland has the advantage. They've taken 2 shots, missed. Each time they've gotten the ball back off the offensive board. Bad pass by Free. Woolridge saves it right into the hands of Hinson.
3 seconds.
3 seconds. He's got to shoot it right here. Free. It's good.
And it's a 3
they counted
or 2.
It only 2. I believe they stepped inside the line. They did.
But what a clutch hoop.
27 points for World B. And we have 1 minute to play. Chicago has called time. That man right there, Stan Albeck, will have to talk to his troops.
Boy, that was just great offensive hustle by the Cavs. Roy came up with that last rebound, threw it out. Then the scramble, and World with the presence of mind to launch the shot as the chicken, alias Ted Giannoulis, is having heart palpitations under one of the baskets. A great way to open the season. And if you haven't gotten a ticket yet for tomorrow night and you want to see the Cavs and the Celts go at it, you still have a chance to do so, but you better hurry because they'll be rattling the rafters again tomorrow night in Richfield.
Well, I think we should talk about a couple of the real keys in this game. One, the play of guard Dirk Minifield, contributing 9 points, handling the ball and running the break. Ron Anderson also with his play coming off the bench, and Mel Turpin. Turpin had a couple of blocked shots, some key rebounds, scored, set some picks, basically did what has been asked of him so far, although he has not yet performed at the so-called superstar status, which he's hoping to obtain.
I think one of the things that you just alluded to there, Jim, is important to bring up. George was concerned in training camp because of the injuries, the loss of Lonnie Shelton. Of course, Lonnie at home watching the action, and I'm sure itching to get back, and it's probably going to be December before Lonnie's going, as well as rookie first-round pick Keith Lee. But the Cavs got the good rotation and the good chemistry going again coming off the bench, not only outscoring the Chicago bench 36-20 at this point unofficially, but also enabling the Cavs to play part of the third quarter and the first half of this fourth period with John Bagley and World on the bench, and not only playing good, but taking the lead and expanding the lead while those two guys were getting a rest. 1 minute to play.
Here we go. Woolridge will inbound at midcourt. Comes to Jordan, who has been playing the remainder of this game with 5 fouls. They've been unable to get him in The 6th. Macy. Short. Rebound. Hubbard pushes Woolridge down, and they call the foul on Hubbard.
And they called the technical. They called the technical to go with it.
Now that's something which really is a no-no here now, because not only do they shoot the free throws to tie the game, they also get the ball back. You'll see it right here. Watch Hubbard push off with the free arm against Woolridge.
Although Woolridge made the move as well. That's Macy hitting the technical. And now you'll get Woolridge with the 2 free throws, so the Bulls can tie the ball game here with 3 free throws. You saw World trying to prevent the tee, but it was too late.
Here's Woolridge at the line, and he can't get it to drop. That's a big miss.
You could see the rotation when he let the ball go, that he was going to have problems. 50 seconds to go here in the 4th period.
Remember, once again, they score when the clock is not running. That's the key. 45 seconds to play. Cavs lead by a single point, 105-104.
They need a hoop.
And remember, as I mentioned, the Bulls will get another opportunity. They'll get the ball back before time expires. Hinson, Bagley penetrates, pulls up. Around, it won't drop. Rebound, Porzingis with 30 seconds to play. 18 on the shot clock. This is Jordan.
23 in a game.
He's looking for it himself. No good. Rebound. Who's got it? Woolridge has got it. In the lane. No good. Olam. And a foul is called.
The Cavs are irate. They cannot believe that there was no foul when Phil Hubbard went to the floor with 1 rebound, and then the foul called the other way. Watch the miss here. It comes to Oldham. Roy goes in the air, and Hubbs is called for the whack on the arm down on the floor. The Cavs are going to take time. We'll keep it right here with 12 seconds to go in regulation. It's a 1-point Cavs lead. The situation could be worse, Jim, but fortunately, in the Cavs side of things, they're going to get the ball back, and they can use the final 12 seconds. They've got a guy at the floor at the foul line in Juwan Oldham, who, if you're going to pick a guy on that Bulls club, he'd be the guy you'd want to put to the foul line.
Yeah, the 7-footer does not have a great percentage as a free throw shooter.
He's 1 of 5 tonight. And generally when we say that, the guy goes up and bangs them both home. But
well, that was a strategic call by head coach George Karl also.
There's Stan Albeck. Let's see if we can listen in to what Stanley is planning for the Bulls. Well, Stanley's got that high voice, and with all this noise in here, you're just not going to pick it up. But he is obviously right now working on what they're going to do defensively. In the Cavs situation, I believe they still have another timeout remaining. So that if the Bulls were to make both free throws, or one of the 2, to tie the game, the Cavs would probably call the timeout so they can get the ball at center floor and get a better reset on their offensive strategy.
Exactly.
The important thing here, obviously, though, is they have to rebound the missed free throw if that occurs on Oldham's second attempt.
They have to have the ball. That's all there is to it.
105-104. The Cavs leading the Chicago Bulls in the season's opener. And if the remaining 81 are like this first one, Jim, it's going to be another wild season.
All right. It all comes down to this. The 7-footer, Juwan Olam, out of Seattle University. At the line. First one's on the way.
$12 points for Oldham, and he had that one with perfect rotation.
The crowd will tell you. No good. Rebound, Woolridge. And I believe Wally Rooney's got a timeout. Chicago. He does. Well, that's exactly what we told you could not happen. They got the deep rebound, and Woolridge came down with it for the Bulls. With 10 seconds to play now, the Cavaliers have gotten themselves into a very, very deep hole.
I don't know if we'll be able to see this on the replay. I don't know if we'll get a replay of that missed free throw or not. But you almost had to expect that kind of rebound coming off the ball. Most of Oldham's misses from the line, Jim, hit off the back of the iron and come out far, and you described it most accurately. The deep rebound, and Woolridge is the guy who gets it done. Watch the replay again. Oldham too strong with the free throw. It hits the back of the rim, bounds very high in the air over Ben Poquette to Woolridge. And as he struggled with Ben and World away from the ball, Corzine called the timeout for Chicago.
All right, here's the strategist working right now. George Karl instructing on how they're going to defend. You have to figure the shot's going to be either Jordan or Woolridge. That would be my two guesses.
Now, in the overtime game last year that the Cavs won, the Bulls also had the ball with time running out. 6 seconds last year. Quentin Daly was the guy who took the shot and missed it. We went to overtime, and the Cavs prevailed in the extra period. This time, there are 4 more ticks on the clock. No Quentin Daly around, but some other fair people to shoot the basketball. That was one of those situations where the Cavs did everything properly. Just sometimes it's the way the ball bounces.
They did everything properly except get the ball.
He just took that high bounce and went over Ben. I mean, Ben jumped about as well as he's going to jump, but it just went too far. And geographically, Woolridge was in the better spot.
All right, so it comes down to 10 seconds. 105, 105. It is Macy, Oldham, Jordan, Corzine, and Woolridge. Woolridge will trigger. Will they lob underneath? Here it comes to Jordan. Watch Oldham looking for the back pick. They got Macy spread out on the far side. Down to 5 seconds. It's a clear out for Jordan. Here's the shot. No good. Rebound. Corzine's shot will not count. We're going to go into overtime. And George Karl is up off the bench screaming at Bennett Salvatore. He is almost to midcourt.
He wanted the foul call on Roy Hinson. He said that Corzine went over his back, didn't get it, so we're going to go to OT.
Well, call your cousins, call your uncle, tell them if they're not watching the game to get it on right now, because we've got 5 more minutes of NBA action for you here on Channel 43. And we'll be right back with that OT right after this.
Welcome back to Chicago Stadium. Jack Corrigan along with my play-by-play partner Jim Brinson. We had so much fun with the first 48 minutes of this game. We said, what the heck, let's give them 5 more minutes of basketball. So we've got overtime at Chicago Stadium.
105-105, high scores. World B has 27, Woolridge 33. The bench scoring, Cleveland with 36, while Chicago 20. That's off the bench.
Cavs will have World, Baggs, Hinson, Poquette, and Hubbard. The Bulls counter with Jordan, Macy, Woolridge, Corzine, and Oldham. Jordan on the floor with 5 fouls.
He played the entire 4th period. Hinson controls the tap.
Sidney Green is already fouled out for the Bulls with 4.5 to go in the 4th period.
This is Bagley. Finds Poquette up top. Corzine greets him defensively. Give it back to Bagley. Here's Free. Open baseline. One-hander. No good. Woolridge rebounds. Outlet to Macy. Oldham on the run the other way. Nobody saw him. Lucky break for the Cavs.
Cavs have gone cold here the last couple of minutes.
Macy to Jordan. Baseline. Michael looking for the shot on a one-on-one. They double up beautifully. Macy's got it. Back outside. Jordan for the jumper. 4:15 to play in the overtime. Jordan now with 24. Bagley looking for the penetration. Got it. Front-hander is short. Rebound. And a whistle and a foul.
Corzine sent.
As Hubbard really went down hard.
That's what it. Corzine with one arm sent Hubbs crashing to the floor. It is only the 2nd foul on Corzine. Watch it out of the left side of your screen. Right there with the body, and Hubbs goes flying.
Bagley controlling outside as we're back to live action. Free. Looking for Hinson to cut through. Now they force it into Roy. Spins, goes into the center of the lane. Blocked by Ola. Ball is loose. Hinson gets it back, knocked away. And Wally Rooney says, stay right here. We've got a foul. And I believe it's on Corzine. It is. And that is number 4 on Dave Corzine.
Now they say 3.
Okay, they just changed.
New Jersey leading Boston in overtime, 111-107. Another NBA action.
Hinson back outside free. Swing it to Poquette. Bagley open. Baseline, didn't take the shot. Forced it inside. Got the foul on Macy. Macy saying, what? I had all ball.
That's 5 on Macy.
Stan Albeck can't believe it.
It's already 14 fouls here in overtime.
Cavs could be going to the line. It could be a parade. 107-105. Chicago leads. 3:35 to play in the overtime.
Yeah, still got to get the ball in the hoop, though, Jim. They've been having problems with that.
That's right. Here's Free. Working against Woolridge. Baseline, can't get the shot off. Down to 11 seconds. It's a double dribble. Free lost it, picked it up. Well, and the Cavs turn it over.
He lost it because Woolridge gave him the bump with the hip.
In the NBA, that's called incidental contact.
Important defensive sequence right here for the Cavs. They don't want to fall behind.
In underneath. Corzine is hammered on his way to the basket. Good pass that time by Jordan. He sees the court so well.
Bagley called for the foul, his 3rd. There's Jordan. Good movement off the ball by Dave Corzine, and Bagley did the right thing.
He certainly did.
Make them do it at the foul line. This guy can.
I think people forget that Dave Corzine really is a pretty good shooter from that free throw line in. Nice soft touch for a big guy. And a fine free throw shooter. 108-105. 109-105 Chicago. Cavs have failed to score in the overtime period. Bagley in the front court. Goes around one screen to the top of the circle. Still controlling. Almost lost it. Now it's Hinson down the lane. Roy forces it up and drew the foul.
Boy, the action is really physical at the Cavs offensive end. The foul is on Oldham. That is his 5th. Puts the Bulls over the limit.
Macy and Hubbard exchanging pleasantries. Watch what happens here. Hubbard and Macy, you really can't see them get tangled up on the far side.
The Bulls now have Macy, Jordan, and Oldham on the floor, all with 5 personals.
Hinson collects the first offering. Roy was 17. Remember, still suffering from that equilibrium problem due to the infection in the inner ear. He's not going to get that with the drop. Corzine with a rebound. 3-point lead with 2:45 to play in favor of the Bulls.
The Cavs have not made a field goal in a long time.
Jordan down the lane. Shuffled the feet, no whistle. Tough shot.
26 for Michael J.
That's why he's paid the big bucks, friends. And Bagley throws it away.
.220 to go in overtime. The Bulls with a 5-point lead. Cavs really need the defense with this possession by Chicago.
Corzine. Poquette comes way out to meet him. Now it's Macy.
7 on the shot clock.
Back door to Jordan. He can't get it to fall. Poquette had it, lost it. And even though Corzine got a hand on it, they rule it went off General Ben's hands last and out of bounds.
5 on the shot clock.
2:02 to play in the overtime. 111-106 Chicago. Woolridge will trigger the inbounds. Oldham's got it. Tough spot. Outside. And it's good. Michael Jordan. Who else? And the Cavs will take a timeout.
3 straight jumpers by Michael Jordan. And the Bulls have outscored the Cavs in regulation 8-1. 1:58 still to play here in OT.
113-106. 7-point advantage. And it has been the inability of the Cavs on offense to get the ball in the basket. Too many mistakes.
Question is now, do you go for the quick hoop, try and play the D and force the turnover, or do you go for the three-pointers right now?
I don't think he needs to go for the three-pointer quite yet. Maybe at about the 120 mark, I'd be tempted to shoot the three-point shot. Not yet. If it were, I am obviously not a coach, but if it were me, I'd try to get it to a big guy down low, try to get the bucket and the foul, and hopefully convert a three-point play.
Well, you've got 3 guys on the floor unless they make some changes that have 5 fouls. So not only could you perhaps get a three-point play opportunity, you could remove one of the better Chicago players from the action if possible. Those are the options that George Karl is trying, and with a whole lot of shaking going on, the chicken has got a rather young partner this time. You are watching Cavs basketball on WUAB TV. Channel 43, serving Lorain, Cleveland, Ohio's television sports giant, the home of the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cleveland Force, and the Cleveland Indians, as well as Ohio State basketball. Cavs trailing by 7. They'll have the basketball on the baseline in the backcourt with 1 minute and 58 seconds to play.
Cavaliers with Hinson, Hubbard, Poquette, Bagley, and Free. The Bulls counter with Corzine, Woolridge, Olam, Macy, and Jordan. Bagley quickly into the front court. Let's see if they go down low. Looking for Hinson. He's got it against Olam. Spins. Oh, he slams right over it, and he drew the foul. I never was a basketball coach, but I played the game once or twice.
Oldham is gone with 1:49 to go in regulation, and you are right, Jim. That was the ideal way to go, and you want to talk about a power move to the hoop. That was it right there.
That's exactly what they had to have. Olam takes a seat on the pine. He's done for the evening.
Roy needs to make this free throw, or if he doesn't, the Cavs need to get the rebound, which is going to be a little hard with Bagley and Minifield, the only 2 guys under the hoop.
You're right. 19 points for Hinson, and he can't get it to fall. 113-108. We're down to 1:45 to play. So they had the golden opportunity for the three-point play. Here comes pressure in the backcourt. Banks has it now in front court. They double team. Woolridge back to Banks. They play catch. Cross lane it goes. Macy. Now Jordan.
Only
5 seconds on the shot clock. Woolridge down low. Banks puts it up. It's blocked. Rebound to Hubbard. He lost it. Poquette picked it up. They got to hurry. Ben into the front court, 120. Three-pointer! Oh, he hit it! Ben Poquette! And they say that he had 1 foot on the line. It only counts for 2. A steal! Bagley goes the other way. He's hit from behind, off to Minifield. He puts it up, it's good!
The game is tied.
And just like that, the Cavaliers have tied the game at 113.
Unbelievable.
Jordan hit by Hubbard. And I bet they're going to call Hubbard because he did not give Jordan room to turn around and come down and hit the ground after he was in the air. That's where the foul is going to be called. It's on Hubbard. His 4th personal.
4th foul.
An amazing turn of events here.
First team foul in the final 2 minutes, so the Bulls just get the ball out of bounds. Great defense by the Cavs.
Under a minute. Jordan, short. Rebound. Hits it, rips it out, and then has it knocked away by Banks, and the foul is called.
Ben Poquette surprised everybody in the place when he pulled up for the three-pointer and buried it.
The only problem was he had 1 foot on the three-point line.
No, they gave him the 3 because when Hinson made the basket, made it 108.
Yeah, but he missed the shot. He missed the free throw.
That would have made it 109.
Right.
So it was still 1. So we got 3 points, and then the 2 points. We're all scored away here, I think. Okay.
And Hinson gives the Cavaliers the lead. 20 points for Hinson.
What a ball game.
.115, 113. Bulls will call timeout. 53 seconds to play. And it looked as if they were on the depths of despair. All of a sudden, in a flurry, they turn it around and take the lead.
What was one of the most unbelievable plays of that flurry of points by the Cavs as well, Jim, was John Bagley making the move to try and get the tying hoop, got tangled in the bodies, when sprawling on the floor, had the presence of mind flat on his stomach to swat the ball to Dirk Minifield. Dirk penetrated and got the tying hoop. And now the 2 free throws by Roy Hinson have put the Cavs on top. And the excitement has been aplenty here at Chicago Stadium.
115, 113, and that man George Karl now has to conjure up some defense.
53 seconds remaining here in the first overtime. You almost want to say that because the way these two teams have played.
All right, let's do a little strategy session, my friend. 53 seconds to play. The Bulls may want to get a quick shot off. So the strategy, I would think, would be to play belly-up defense, make Chicago run as much time off the 24-second clock as possible.
Well, he's going to have the defensive unit. I'm speaking of George. He's going to have the defensive unit that he likes to have out there. Minifield and Bagley for the quickness, both with the feet and the hands in the backcourt. Hubbard and Poquette, the aggressive guys, and Roy Hinson, who gives you everything, the speed, the hands, and the big body.
They're going to put him underneath the basket. If somebody breaks loose, they want him to run into Hinson. Then they got a chance to block the shot.
Chicago will counter with Corzine, Jordan, Banks, Woolridge, and Macy. The loss of Sidney Green, the loss of Juwan Olam to fouls, and quite frankly, the newness of George Gervin has limited the substitutions for Stan Albeck with Chicago.
Perimeter passing. This is exactly what George Karl was hoping for. There's the penetration by Woolridge. He can't get it to fall.
Phil Hubbard draws his 5th personal.
And that's all. His 6th.
No, they say that's 6.
They say that is his 6th. That is all for Hubbard. As he leaves, he is the first Cavalier player to foul out. And World B. Free is going to check back in.
Tough night offensively for Hubbs. 6 points in the ball game.
Minifield leaves. Now you have to make a decision on whom you're going to put on that front line. And it's going to be Turpin. Turpin goes for Poquette. George Karl still has another decision.
No, Ben's just coming out to this board.
Oh, they announced that Poquette was going to leave. Instead, Ben just walked over to have a conversation with George.
34 points tonight for Orlando Woolridge.
It has been a good night for that man.
Averaged 16.5 a game last year as the #2 scorer for Chicago.
115, 114. We're all tied. 115 all. 40 seconds to play in the first overtime. Bagley into the front court. Penetrates by Macy. Bad shot, however. And it comes down to Banks.
He was trying to draw the foul on Kyle Macy. Didn't get the good shot off.
Jordan against Free. Double clutch. And Hinson got a piece of it to block the shot. But Free is called for the foul.
That's 5 on World.
Well, I'll tell you, Hinson comes from the weak side so well to help defensively.
And you know, Jordan is a pretty good bet to get at least one, if not both of these free throws.
Oh!
I'm glad I put the whammy on.
Yeah, you did. That rarely happens. 22 seconds
As Al
to
McGuire
play.
would say, I like it now. It's on the odds, so you can't get the tie if Jordan makes this move.
He did. Bulls lead by 1. So do you take the last shot with 20 seconds to play? You go for the win. If it were me, I'd go to that man, Hinson. Bagley down to Hinson.
10 seconds.
He spins, goes up, no good, rebound. Corzine's got it. 5 seconds as Chicago is going to win this game. They do. The victory.
Corzine got the body and blocked out Mel Turpin to come up with the defensive rebound to give the Bulls the overtime victory.
It was not a good shot by Hinson. They might have kicked the ball back outside and tried to reset. They had time on the shot clock, on the game clock. But Hinson threw up a prayer, and it wasn't answered. In overtime, Chicago.